Welcome to day 37. We are about 3/4 way finished our first climb of the morning, which is right at camp. So we're just under a mile in and getting some water. We had just enough water for last night and first thing this morning, but found this great stream here and filling up with some water, and then we'll be on our way. Got 11 miles total into Irwin, and we walk right into town, so that's kind of, I always like that. Well, the one time I've done it so far, I liked it. Good morning. Here is your minute and a half of Zen. All right, I'm gonna tell a little story now, so bear with me that I'll get to the end, and the reason for my telling it is that I got a text from a buddy of mine while out on the trail yesterday, actually a pretty long one. Kind of went into how he's been watching the videos and enjoying them, and next time I have a zero, just let him know and he'll try to swing down and catch up and all that good stuff. So I want to tell a story about my friend Will Smith, who is not the actor Will Smith, although he is married to Jada. Yeah, he got a little mileage out of that, and he did work at baseball for a long time. But while he was working in baseball, he was running a team for the Yankees in Staten Island. So he was I think he was the president of that team, or the COO or something, I don't know. Anyways, he was running the team. So while there, that, obviously you're in New York, it's a lot of union everything. And one of the girls that worked on his staff had a father or some relative that was really high up in the unions that did the work at Saturday Night Live. This is why I'm telling you the story, because I absolutely love Saturday Night Live. I went through a time when I was young where I watched it all the time. Then probably a good 15-year span, maybe even 20, where I didn't watch it much at all. And now, over the last, say, 5 years, I started watching it all the time again and absolutely love it. I mean, some of the skits are dumb, some of the skits are great. It just depends. But my wife and I both enjoy watching it, and the good certainly outweighs the bad when you're watching that. So anyways, long story short, he got tickets to go see a taping of Saturday Night Live. So he goes, and we didn't actually have tickets. He's told to go in and ask for XYZ. I don't know who it was. XYZ, and they'll lead you in and put you and seat you. And so he does, and he gets seated. He had 2 tickets. His wife was supposed to go, but couldn't for some reason, so it was him and another guy. So they get out there, they get seated, and during an intermission, they come over to him and tell him that he's invited to go to the after party with everybody if you'd like. And he's telling me this story. I'm like, holy cow. Not only does he go to Saturday Night Live, but now he's going to the after party, and And I was like, gosh, this guy is just some sort of lucky. Well, then he tells me, well, I declined because it was going to be too late and I was going to be getting home too late. I'm like, how in the world can anyone decline going to the after party at Saturday Night Live? I mean, that's like a once in a lifetime experience, and you declined it. And he's like, I was gonna be too tired. And so good for him. I don't know that I would have had the I don't care how tired I would have been drinking lots of Sunkist with caffeine to stay awake to be able to go to that. Anyways, I thought that was an interesting story, and since it popped into my head, I figured I'd pass it along. It was I thought it was a good one. So anyways, maybe if I do catch up with him, I'll get him to actually tell the story later on down the trail. Hopefully I will see him at some point. I just don't know when. Anyways, thanks so much. Alrighty, just give you a quick update. Got less than 6 miles, 5.5 or so, maybe a little bit more than that, into Irwin. Should be arriving in time for just a little bit later lunch than normal. I'm guessing 12:45, 12:40, based on ascent and descent that we have left. Have one climb left. That's it of significance. A lot of down. Now the challenge is I don't know the terrain. That had been thrown for a few loops here in this section between Hot Springs and Irwin, where terrain's been great at times, and then terrain's been really slow going because there's tons of rocks and something you wouldn't expect. That don't think that's going to be, well, I have no idea. I hope it's not the case, but it'll be what it'll be. So anyways, I was going to tell another story about my buddy Will Smith. I was have a bunch of them and trying to weed through which ones are easy to tell. But the next one, we were working for an affiliate of the San Francisco Giants in Maryland, and in Hagerstown, actually, back a long time ago. Gosh, I was 29, 30 years old. We're both the same age, so about the same age. And at the time, my wife was a remote worker, kind of, but she had to travel. She kept her job when we moved from the previous team I was with to there. They wanted to keep her, but she was far away, so she had to go down back and travel down there, I think once a month maybe, and then every other week she would travel for her job. So it was a lot of traveling, but then the rest of the time she would work from home. Long story short, she was gone a lot. So Will was single at the time, so it was just me and it was just the two of us would go just do stuff all the time, just silly things. But the story is that, and he never thought this, but I always did, that at the time when I say Will was single, Will was very single. That he would go through and just date women, and a few dates, then on to the next one, a few dates on to the next one. And his line, I don't say his line because he didn't really think it was a line. I thought it was. I thought it was ingenious, whether you're a girl or a guy. And when things were over, I was like, well, how do you break up with them? You go on a few dates, and it's like, you don't just ghost them, do you? He's like, no. I always just tell them I'm not feeling it. And I was like, you know what? That is literally the best way to break up with somebody. It's not anything to do with them. It's not anything to do with you. It's not anything to do with anything else. You're just not feeling it. That's not too much, not too little, just the perfect amount. And that always made me laugh. And I always thought that was great. And he always just couldn't believe how much I thought that was a great way to do it. But anyways, obviously he since found his wife, has 2 kids, and things are going well. But back in those days, Will would date a lot of different women, and that was how he ended those relationships. And I always thought that was funny. Not funny, but funny, not funny, haha, but funny, kind of unique. Anyways, that's all I got for now. That's the best view we've had so far today. Maybe that's Irwin, not sure, but had no views really today, so I just wanted to give you this one real quick while we had it, and slowly walk along. Anyways, there you have it. All right, I believe that's the Nolichucky River, and we are headed down there into Irwin. Got 1.4 miles left, and I don't know. I think we walk right into town, so maybe we walk a little bit into town. I don't know. We'll find out. All right, we'll talk to you later. All right, this is the bridge that went out over the Nolichucky River. You can see it sitting right over there, and I guess they're slowly gonna start putting this back together. There is Uncle Johnny's Hostel. We're not staying there, but looks nice. And we're waiting for Girl Dad, and then going from there. Alrighty, we're here in Irwin, Tennessee at the Mountain Inn and Suites. And when the hotel is, well, when you walk into Irwin, you don't really walk in the middle of town like we thought that you kind of walk into it, but then everything is a little bit of ways. We got here in time for lunch, so we walked to lunch, but it was over a mile each way. And so for dinner, after doing laundry and taking showers, we decided we did not want to do that again. So we tried to order delivery. There was only one place that delivered, and they weren't making deliveries this evening. So that meant that there's a gas station right next to us. So we get gas station food, a sandwich, cookie, Pringles, beer. That's the food for us tonight, but it's fine because we actually pigged out at lunch, so weren't sure we wanted that much for dinner anyways, but it would have been nice to be able to socialize. But tomorrow we'll have to get a shuttle, and there's not many of them available. I think there's only one shuttle guy around here now. After Hurricane Helene, supposedly a lot of the shuttles stopped running, so and there's a lot of damage here still. So we'll just deal with it, but we'll have to get into town tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be exciting and we get to see the joys and sights and sounds of Irwin, Tennessee. That's it for today.